Chapter 15. No! Cried Wildstyle, but it was too late. Emmet was gone. 5 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, said the computer. But then, error, termination failure, said the computer. The battery powering the Terminator sequence had disappeared into the abyss along with Emmet. The think tank shut down. Emmet had done it. One by one, the master builders broke free of their bindings. Wildstyle ran to the ledge and stared into the infinite chasm. She could see the disconnected wires dangling, but there was no sign of Emmet. No, Emmet, Wildstyle murmured. What do we do now? Said Unikitty. We have to do something. Superman shook his head. We're all out of ideas. He literally took all of our ideas. We might as well just watch Where Are My Pants? The other master builders murmured in agreement. They stared at the monitors numbly as Lord Business rampaged through Bricksburg with a Craigalizer. Emmet had ideas, said Benny sadly. If only there were more people in the world like he be, said Metalbeard. Wait a minute, cried Wildstyle. Metalbeard's words had given her an idea of her own. Meet me downstairs in a sec. She dashed off. Unikitty, Benny, and Metalbeard looked at one another in confusion. Then they followed her. A moment later, Wildstyle burst into the Where Are My Pants TV studio. Honey, where are my pants? The lead actor said. A laugh track played. Hey, guess what? Said Wildstyle, handing him his pants. I found your pants. Series is over. Then she turned to Benny, who was right behind her. Benny, send this out to everyone in the universe. Benny hurried over to the control room. It was filled with reel-to-reels, wires, and computer keyboards. 1980-something technology? Now you're talking. The others began filming Wildstyle as Benny broadcast the feed live to every station in the universe. Hey everybody, you don't know me, but I'm on TV so you can trust me. All around Bricksburg, minifigures turned to watch the TV screens in their living rooms and outside department stores and sports stadiums. Hundreds were watching Wildstyle, even as Lord Business swooped overhead, craggling people left and right. I know things seem really bad right now, but there's a way out of this, Wildstyle went on. Roll the footage, Ben. Benny hit a button on his keyboard, and video of Emmet appeared on screen. First, there was security footage of him working at the construction site in Bricksburg, and then feed that showed him discovering the piece of resistance. Wildstyle continued speaking as the footage rolled. This is Emmet, and he was just like all of you. Facing the crowd, following the same instructions as you. He was so good at fitting in, no one ever saw him. The video showed Emmet using his head as the wheel axle in the Old West and creating a double-decker couch in Cloud Cuckoo Land. I used to think people like Emmet were followers with no ideas or visions, Wildstyle said. But it turned out Emmet had great ideas, and even though they were weird and kind of pointless, they actually came closer than anything else to saving the universe. And now is the time for you to finish the job. All of you have new ideas, and if you let those ideas build off one another, we'll have an army of ideas. An army that can defeat Bill's machines and take down that big boring cube. All around Bricksburg, Middle Zealand, and the Old West, minifigures listened to Wildstyle. All of you have the ability inside of you to be a groundbreaker, and I mean literally break the ground, peel out the pieces, tear apart your walls right now, Wildstyle finished. Today will not be known as Taco Tuesday. It will be known as Freedom Friday, but still on a Tuesday. Yeah, people cheered. We can do it. At Emmet's old work site, the construction workers were moved. They began picking up pieces and putting them together. All around Bricksburg, people were building. Inside coffee shops, on pirate ships, in the middle of the street, everyone was building. Suddenly, robots swarmed the TV studio. End of the line, shouted one, aiming his blaster at Wildstyle. But before he could shoot it, Bad Cop burst in from behind and blasted all the robots. Bad Cop? Said Wildstyle, shocked. I hope there's still a good cop in me somewhere, he replied grimly. He turned his face around and drew a smiley face on the blank side. I'll hold these guys off. You go stop them. Great idea, said Metalbeard gruffly. But how will we get to Bricksburg? Benny began to hyperventilate with excitement. I could build a spaceship. No one spoke for long moments. You're not going to say no? Benny said hopefully. Bad Cop shrugged. Build away, whatever your name is. Benny dropped to his knees, shedding tears of joy. He couldn't believe his ears. He shot around the room, frantically building the spaceship he had always dreamed of. Spaceship! 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 he chanted. 2 minutes later, an awesome, slightly retro spaceship stood before him. Wild Style, Batman, Unikitty, and Metalbeard scrambled on board. A moment later, they zoomed off, bursting through the walls, dividing every realm on their quest to reach Bricksburg. All units attack that spaceship, cried the robot commander. A fleet of robo-fighters charged after Benny's ship. Where'd it go? Demanded the robot commander. Spaceship! Spaceship! Cried Benny. The ship emerged onto the streets of Bricksburg, where a wild battle was underway. The citizens of Bricksburg had converted their surroundings into an array of strange and amazing attack vehicles, and they were all aiming for Lord Business and his robots. Oh my gosh, said Metalbeard, watching the carnage in awe. This is even crazier than I thought it would be, exclaimed Wildstyle. Wildstyle, look, cowboys, squealed Unikitty. And check out those castle ships over there, said Batman. He sounded impressed. Larry the barista had converted his coffee shop into a flying cannon that sprayed coffee. Mine shoots hot coffee. That'll be $37. A micromanager melted under the force of his Java jets. In the distance, the Craigalizer was spraying the city streets. Millions of micromanagers block our hero's way. Perched on top of the spaceship, Metalbeard bellowed, Everyone, clear us a path toward that cube. A plumber truck ship shot plungers at the Craigalizer's closest tentacle. The tentacle chased him around the corner, only to encounter a garbage truck that had been converted into an enormous chomper, which bit down and destroyed it. This might actually work, said Wildstyle. 'Twas your speech that roused this hardy crew, Metalbeard said. Thanks, guys, cried the plumber. Dozens of converted ships were pouring through the portal from other realms. A castle ship, an Old West ship, and a pirate spaceship all converged on the streets of Bricksburg. A steady stream of master builders followed them. Green Lantern, the Statue of Liberty, Superman, the Lagoon Creature, and the Green Ninja all joined the fight. Don't forget us, master builders, cried Abraham Lincoln. Inside the Craigalizer, Lord Business realized that things were not going according to plan. A converted ice cream truck was flying around him. Playing annoying jingles and blocking his view with jets of whirling ice cream sprayed from his cone cannon. What the HECK is going on? This is an abomination of silliness. They aren't following my orders. Don't let them near this Craigalizer. I'm the boss. I'm the boss of you. I'm really tall. Back in the streets, Wildstyle watched the fight. She couldn't believe her words had had such a powerful effect. Benny, head for the base of that thing, she said. You know, the Craigalizer. Benny nodded. Spaceship. He expertly steered the ship toward the Craigalizer. We've got micromanagers swarming us, Unikitty squealed. Not for long, said Wildstyle. She, Batman, Metalbeard, and Unikitty jumped onto the spaceship's wings and started beating back the micromanagers. Arr, take that, you mechanized micro thingy, growled Metalbeard as he blasted them with cannonballs. No one messes with my friend's spaceship, cried Unikitty. Wildstyle turned to Batman. Listen, Batman, we need to talk, she began. This is hard to say, but I think we should just break up, Batman interrupted. I just want to say that first before you say whatever you're going to say, I'm breaking up with you, and I say that first. And I'm Batman, first to break up. What were you going to say? Wildstyle stared at him for a second. She swallowed her pride. Nothing. Look, I'm sorry about Emmet, said Batman, relenting a bit. He was a dork, but he was a good guy. If he were here, I'm sure he'd say... Ah! Cried Emmet as he spun in a whirling vortex of lights. He hit the ground with a crunch. Where was he? Back at Bricksburg, things were not going well for our heroes. See you on course, Benny, cried Wildstyle. Alright, guys, I don't mean to be a stubborn barnacle, but even if we can reach that behemoth without getting craggled, how are we going to stop it? Without that piece, we'd be doomed, Metalbeard said. Inside the Craigalizer, Lord Business had it. This rebellion ends now, he declared. He watched as bevies of crazily constructed ships fought off. His micromanagers. He sent out more micromanagers who intercepted the rebel ships, put them back into their original shapes, and Craigalized them. Several micromanagers overran Benny's spaceship and pulled Unikitty Benny, Batman, and Wild Style off. We were a heavy-hearty crew, but it's over, Metalbeard cried as he landed in a heap on top of the others. Emmet looked around him. Where am I? He was in a dark, flat place with nothing around him, except, was that a piece of resistance? It was lying a few feet away from him. Whoa! Emmet reached for it. I can still save them. At that moment, a portal opened up in front of him. He couldn't believe it. But Truvius's voice echoed in his head. You need to make the final connection. Emmet grabbed the piece and hurled into the portal.